Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Israel Unleashed. And today's guest is Yafa. Hello, Yafa.
Hello.
Sorry, we've been on break. It's been a summer vacation here, and we have kids and stuff and families we have to take care of, and we have to spend time with them because they're all from school and stuff like that. So we're back, and here we are, and we have a lot to talk about. And there's been a lot of interesting developments going on, and non-stop news. And as you know, the Middle East never sleeps. There's always exciting stuff going on, and we got fires in Greece and in Turkey, a mega drought in Iraq, war going on in Yemen and Syria, and rockets falling on the northern border from Lebanon, from Hezbollah, and Iran obviously wanting to do something, and ships blowing up in the Gulf, stuff like that from Iran with drones and stuff like
Interesting
that.
Interesting stuff.
And exciting stuff. And the most interesting topic is America running for their lives out of Afghanistan because they've lost the war and pretty much let the Taliban take over, so there's all sorts of exciting events in the Middle East, and it looks like it's shaping up to be even bigger and more exciting.
It's exciting. I mean, you can look at it in different ways. I mean, a lot of people might say, how can you say war is exciting? Well, I grew up in Israel my entire life, so I was born during a war, I gave birth during wars, I went to school with a gas mask. To me, it's exciting because stuff are happening, prophecies. It looks like prophecies are happening. And if you're a true Jew and a true Israeli like we are, it's exciting. I don't care what you say. It's exciting because we know the presence of God is here. We can feel the presence of God here. And with prophecies being fulfilled in front of our eyes just proves it more. So if you want to be scared about it, go ahead. But I find it to be exciting. I find it to be
exhilarating.
Exhilarating, thank
Exactly.
you. And exhilarating, that's the
Definitely.
word. I'm like, yes, because it's not every day you see something as big as this happening. I mean, some people are afraid of the war, the big war called Gog de Magog. However you say it in English, how you say it? Gog de Magog.
Same way. Yeah.
It's basically the war that ends all wars, as they say it. They said it's only going to be like, what, a minute long, 30 seconds long? Something like that. It's supposed to be very quick war.
It's supposed to be quickly, yeah.
Very, very quick thing happening.
It's supposed to be very scary, but very quick.
And main of
whatever.
it's supposed to be in the Megiddo alley, Megiddo,
Megiddo, yeah.
Megiddo, which is not far away from where we live, by the way.
Exactly.
It's very close to where we live. We live in the northern side of Israel, as you know, so it's very close to us. So if that will happen, you know where to find me. Over there. On the simple fact that if shit's happening and if stuff are starting to hit the fan and God himself is about to reveal himself, I'm going there. As scary as that might sound, I'll be there. Because if God himself is coming, I want to see him. And I want to say thank you for my life. And thank you for my soul. And thank you for everything. And I don't care if it will kill me in the end because I'll be with him anyway. So I'll be fine. So.
Well, God forbid.
God forbid. That's just
I don't
me
know.
being me.
The interesting thing is I don't know, with the whole thing taking off in Afghanistan and stuff like that, starting to make like a domino effect, yeah? And I don't know.
It does put things in more perspective to see how things going to unfold from here.
Sure. I mean, as an American, I'm very disappointed with the Biden administration. I think they're a complete fuck up, man. I mean, like literally what's going on in America and outside of America and America's involvement in a lot of things, it's a complete clusterfuck, you know? And
if I was an American, which I'm not, and if I was living in America, which I don't, I only do one thing, and that would pack my bags and leave. Because honestly, I feel sorry for Americans these days. I don't know what the hell is going to happen there, but if things are about to unfold the way they are, and prophecies are about to be fulfilled, America is not the place to be at.
True. And me being outside of America for many years, I'm happy I live here. I can't fathom even going back to like get involved in the situation going over there. But that's beside the point. I mean, that's not really our video for today. But
nope.
The situation that's taking shape, like in Afghanistan, for example, it's affecting the way the whole Middle East is being like kind of run. It's emboldened the terrorists of like Iran and Hezbollah and like the Hezbollah group in Iraq and stuff like that, and emboldens the situation going on in Yemen
Lebanon is
And
collapsing.
like a bunch of series of countries around us are collapsing and financially
Syria,
and
Lebanon,
economically and stuff like that.
Jordan is not doing good.
They're all not doing good and stuff like that. And you have people who are in power who they don't really care about the situation of the people. They want to kill all sorts of fucking people. But I in my opinion, I feel that like once America's gone out of Afghanistan, it's going to be a complete slaughter. I mean, you're already seeing troops of like Chinese people mass on the border, Pakistani armies also amassing themselves. Iran's amassing themselves on their border too because they're afraid that they're going to have another, basically another like outbreak of immigrants, or basically who are fleeing from the war to go to Europe and stuff because they need to go through these countries in order to get there. And they're afraid that that's going to happen again like it did in 2015 and. It's probably, a lot of people in Europe are getting prepared for it, and they're overwhelmed by it already too. But it's going to be, it's already turning into a domino effect, and it's turning into a situation that's like, what's going to happen next? In my opinion, I don't know. I personally think it, with the government changing in Iran and stuff, and the people becoming the people who are in power now, they're very radical, and they have one goal, and that's to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? And I think once they move out of Afghanistan, they also move out of Iraq. Americans and stuff like that. That gives them a free will and a free land bridge to move to get to here and make things happen. I mean, it's already starting to happen because they're dropping bombs from Syria and Lebanon into Israel and stuff like that. So it's been a kind of turbulent couple of weeks because of that. But it used to be up. I mean. We've been at war with these people for years. It's not like some big secret. A lot of people don't think because it's not mentioned in the newspaper and the news doesn't exactly express it. They don't think it's a war, but it is a war.
The news doesn't express a lot of things.
Exactly. It's more of what you call a shadow war.
Yeah.
And it's behind the scenes, and it's something that you don't see and stuff like that. But living in the Middle East, you see it.
Yeah.
I mean, we live on the actual battlefield of this whole situation, and. We see it on a daily level. We see what's going on around us and stuff like that. Honestly, we don't need the news for any of that stuff to tell us anything because we already see it with our own eyes. We live very close to Syria. We live very close to Lebanon, and we
live so close to Lebanon that we actually hear their fighting.
Yeah.
We hear them shooting at each other. Even in Syria, when it happens, we can hear it. Sometimes in the middle of the night you can hear explosions and stuff, and you can hear it coming from far away because we are like roughly an hour away from the border. So roughly, because it depends how long it takes you to drive there. It can either be an hour or less.
Yeah, but honestly, if you go through the mountains, it's only miles away.
Yeah, it's like literally across the mountains.
I remember years ago we were living in Tiberias and stuff like that, in the Sea of Galilee and stuff like that, and like at nighttime you'd see the sky light up and you'd see them heavily fighting on the border.
Yeah.
When they were fighting, the Russians and the Iranians and Hezbollah were all fighting ISIS.
Yeah,
and
but you
stuff
don't
like
hear
that
in the news in America and the rest of the world.
No, I know, but I mean,
keep
you
that
were able to go to the border and actually see it, and it was like
Yeah.
a real life movie, and it was like the most insane thing you can ever see. But
Yeah.
you see them moving armor and shooting rockets and missiles and all that stuff at each other, and it was like
The joy of living in the
sitting from a distance watching that and stuff is like, it's like a Hollywood movie live. You know what I mean? And it's like something like you've never seen. You know what I mean? And it's insane, but. This is how it goes here. This is the life here and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, watching this last couple of years. I mean, the Russians coming in. The Russians have completely fucked up everything, and they act like they're trying to rein into the Iranians and stuff, which is like a complete farce. They can care less. You know what I'm saying? And the way America's kind of came in and started wars and. The way they fought in them and stuff like that, and they act like they're some fucking peacemakers and shit, and they pretty much destroyed
Americans
these
have
places.
lost their ways a while ago. Them trying to be peacemakers is ridiculous. How can you make peace when your own country's on turmoil? Turmoil,
yeah. But I mean,
is how
but
you
the
say
funny
it?
thing is that, you go to these countries, you have clans, you have tribes and stuff like that, and then you have the government and actual people and stuff like that, and clans and tribes and stuff like you're not going to tell them or teach them anything and fix anything over there. They're the ones who are the driving force of like the Taliban, for example. You know what I'm saying, that make up a fighting force who fights these people.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it makes it, these are people, obviously,
You know what the thing is, that people are not aware of how much war really is going on right now around the world, and right next to your doorstep, even if you're not even knowing that, and how much fighting is going on right now, and how much shit is about to hit the fan. And you can, not see it, and all of a sudden get really, really scared when you find out about it, and you're like a deer in the headlight, not knowing what to do. Or you can be like us, which we are very much aware of what's going on, and we know what's going on, and we can hear what's going on.
I mean, in Afghanistan, for example, you've seen already thousands of people have been killed just in the last couple of weeks alone. The Taliban have gone after pilots for the Afghan army so they can wipe them out. They've gone after people. They've taken over towns. You've seen the Iranians move on to the Golan Heights and also in the border of Lebanon and stuff like that. And they're getting closer and closer and stuff and embedding themselves so they can attack us and stuff eventually. Look, they have time. They can do whatever they want when they want to do it. When the time is right, they're going to do it and stuff like that. They've already started to make efforts and things to happen, but in the meantime, thank God, on a slow scale. Because sitting we've already lived through many wars, Yafa and I, and when they were rocketing us every single day and every single night, and you had to live in a bomb shelter and stuff like that, it's a strange reality when you don't come from something like this. And after,
to me, it's not strange.
No, but if you're like listening to rockets falling and the explosions and the sirens, and it does something to you, like
psyche.
To your psyche. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that you never felt anything like a rocket hit the ground. I can tell you that for a fact. Feeling the sensation of a rocket hitting the ground, and the vibration from the ground up to you, and
the explosion
the shock
itself.
wave and the explosion itself.
Yeah.
Well, I've been experiencing this for a while, ever since I was a child, and I have to tell you, it's not fun. But you tend to, I don't know if become numb to it, because the people of the South in Israel are not numb to it. They're suffering for 20 years now. You're not numb to it. And the people of the South of Israel a lot of them are growing up into a reality that none of you can even fathom. You don't understand how it'd be like to be a 5-year-old child who's afraid to go on the bus because the bus might go boom. Or a 7-year-old child who goes to school, and every time he hears the name red color, he's getting petrified and he's trying to run into a bomb shelter. Now, unless you know how that feels, and you know how it feels like to be an Israeli, then you will never understand what it feels like to live through wars your entire life, and to live through that's what the whole world is telling you. It's not a war. But don't worry, because soon enough, with all the events about to fall everywhere,
Exactly.
then soon enough you will all know how that feels. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
It's a constant war that never ends.
Yeah.
It's never ended, and it's been going on for a long time. And there are sides that want to give their point of view and say this is what's going on, this and that, and we're stealing that, and they're stealing that,
yeah,
whatever.
We're stealing land. How can we steal something
But
that belongs to us?
it's a constant situation where everyone's doing it, whatever, and this is how people survive here. You know what I mean? In Israel, it's like, you overcome a land and conquer it. It's considered a buffer zone because that's how you save yourself. Because the closer they are, the more that they can do, the more damage they can do. The further away, it's a lot more apparently safer and stuff like that. But
I'll tell you what. I have a small problem with the way people look at Israel and the way they look at wars when it comes to Israel, and they don't seem to understand.
Well, they're unexperienced, and they're not knowing about what's really going on. A lot of these people have never been here, so they don't have any point of view about really what's happening. They hear one side saying something, and when people show them images and stuff like that of what's going on, and it's like they feel some sort of sympathy or they have some sort of emotion towards it, so they tend to take that side, which is like a human reaction. It's okay. It's understandable, but a lot of times people don't know the history, the facts, and the reality on the ground and stuff like that. I realized when I came here as like a tourist, it wasn't like how I picture life now. You know what I'm saying? I had a whole nother view of how I viewed the situation.
How did you view the situation compared to you now?
I don't even know how to put it in words. I just I realized once I became a citizen and I started to live here, there was a complete different reality of coming as a tourist.
People have no idea. People think that they know Israel and they know everything about us, but they have no idea. It's like right now with everything happening around the world, you have people who are scared about it. All over the world, in Europe, in America, everywhere, people are scared about what's going on around the world. People are saying, it's going to bring a major war, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. But
because we know that's going to happen. That's,
Yeah, but
that,
us
you know.
being an Israeli, and I mean, listen, I'm 38 years old. In my short time on this planet, you can call it short, long, however you want, I experienced more wars than a person should. I mean, how many people you know goes to school with gas masks in first grade?
How many people have bomb shelters in their house?
And bomb shelters in their
Yeah, I
house,
mean-
and bombs. And what really annoys me, though, I know it's not part of the subject that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
I just gotta let it out because the way people look at Israel, it just it how you say, make me extremely angry, infuriates me. Is that people think they know Israel and they know us and they think that we're occupiers and they think that we're just killing poor Palestinians. People have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Well, you know. I mean,
And they run their fucking stupid mouth and they think they know what they're talking about and they're running their stupid mouth and they're trying to make us look like we're the problem because we keep quiet and the other side is very vocal about their fake problems.
yeah, you brought up prophecy and stuff like that, whatever. But as the end of days, as they say,
That's why I
the
keep
world
quiet.
is supposed to come against us, and they are. Like as
They
you
always
don't see
do.
it.
The whole
I mean,
world
the people-
will always be against us.
You know, I mean, being Jewish and being Israeli and stuff like that, I mean, you know, you've had one group after the next since the dawn of time pretty much try to overcome us and take us out, and it hasn't changed. There's nothing
Because
different.
when people are suffering and they're looking for a way out, they're looking for somebody to blame, we are the easiest scapegoat.
Well, you know, they've been blaming us since God knows when about, you know,
Every time those little shitheads have something wrong with them and nobody helping them in their life, so they're coming to blame us for whatever shit's going to happen in their life.
I mean, honestly, you look at the world and like we're children, man. I mean, we've come a long way, but we haven't evolved. We've evolved in certain ways, but mentality-wise, we haven't evolved really that much at all.
That's all about the change. When it comes to the prophecy, it's all about the change. We're all going to... When it comes to the prophecy, my feeling is that it's going to be a higher level of consciousness that's going to appear. And that higher level of consciousness, either you're strong enough to be able to accept it and you will be able to continue, or you will die. There's no other option. Either you'll be able to accept what's about to change because the changes that are about to occur are major, are global, are cataclysmic.
I mean, I believe everything's in God's hands. I mean, I trust Him with all my heart and soul. I mean, I'm letting Him do the driving. I mean, you know,
I have no fear in my heart.
what will be, and like, you know, I mean, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I have no fear in my heart. I have no fear whatsoever.
What's coming is what He wants. You know what I'm saying?
Bezrat Hashem, let it happen.
Good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Bezrat Hashem. Whatever needs, it's a prophecy. It's something that God Himself wants to happen.
yeah.
My job is to sit back and let it happen. My job is to watch it and either survive it or die. If I die, I go to God, I'm good. If I survive it, I continue to live my life, I'm good again. So either way, I'm not scared. But all of you should be. Because if you don't believe in this prophecy, and if you don't, hi Ozzy, and if you don't understand what's about to happen, and you don't really see the whole news of the whole world as one collective thing, then you're going to have a problem. Because you don't understand that everything is linked together. All of it linked together. Whether you want to believe it or not, but what's happening in China, in Afghanistan, between India and Pakistan, what's with Germany, to China, it's all connected. With Russia and Syria, it's all connected.
Exactly. I feel I've been telling people for a long time that, like, you know, we're all one, no matter what color you are, what religion you are, whatever. You know, you're all one. We're all connected. What happens way over there is affecting over here, and you know what I mean. I mean, everybody's got their opinion, but I mean, like, you know, since you get like a pretty much left-wing news outlets who pretty much control like everything when it comes to like putting the news across to people and stuff like that. You know, they want to show you, you know, the fighting and the division and what's going on between people and people screaming about their opinions and stuff like that. But in reality, you know, they're not showing what's really going on. This is all like a facade in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to
Because
keep people occupied with what's going on over here and not pay attention to what's going on over there.
Exactly.
You know what I
They
mean?
don't want people to know. The world is.
I mean, it's like, for example, I mean, like, you know, from America and stuff, and like, you know, growing up, I seen us leaving Vietnam and running for our lives because the North Vietnamese army was coming and they were taking people off the embassy with helicopters and throwing the helicopters and the planes into the sea to make room for people that they were taking out and stuff. And I mean, we're watching that exact same thing unfold today in Afghanistan, and like, you know, I was a very young child then, and it's an image that's been burnt in my head ever since then. I didn't know what it was, but it was the most fascinating thing I've ever seen at the time. I mean, I was just a young child, but I mean, here we are. They want to see the same humiliation again, and they want to defeat America with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And the most fucked up thing about this whole situation is that, like, you know, you have the Taliban, you have the Iran, you have Turkey, you have the thing going on, and you have the war going on in Yemen, which is like, and it's also affecting Saudi Arabia, and then the Gulf countries, and then you have Jordan collapsing, Lebanon collapsing, Syria's probably already collapsed. I mean, it's not even a country anymore.
God knows what the hell.
I mean, the fact that they had an election and they re-elected Assad again is a complete joke.
Yeah, that's smart. Let's re-elect the psychopath who killed all of us with biological weapon. That makes sense. Oh, sorry, chemical weapon. Was it used?
Chemical weapon, whatever. But I mean,
on his own people.
The funny thing is, like, you know, you look in these countries and you see wars destroyed everything. The economics is awful. The situation's awful and stuff like that, and it's all surrounding us. And then you see Israel. It's like this country that's flourishing and people moving forward and everything's going on good in life and whatever, and then you see these exact same people who want to, like, you know, they want to shoot rockets that you want to destroy. They're bringing their war closer to here, you know what I'm saying?
Because they're not happy with themselves.
And their ultimate goal is to destroy Israel. But I mean, like, honestly, I mean, God forbid you destroy Israel. What good has come out of that?
Nothing. God himself will leave this place.
I mean, there's a feeling in Islam, once a land has been conquered, that even if it's liberated, it needs to be reconquered again because it's Islamic land and stuff like that. And this is the mentality of these people. The funny thing is that nowadays I see more and more people get more like younger people get more and more religious and more and more fanatical and stuff like that. And they agree with this mentality. But I mean, like, it's great that you agree with this mentality, but the problem is it's destroying these countries and stuff like that and other people that live there who are the same, just like them. I mean, honestly, in the last 12 years, you've seen the Shiites pretty much destroy the Sunni, who were like a majority of the Arab world with Sunni, and now the Shiites have taken over there, and the Shiites are more radical than anything. You know what I mean? And they want to. Their ultimate goal right now is, like, between Turkey and Iran, for example. For example, hold on a second. The Turks want to bring back the fucking Ottoman Empire. It hasn't been here in over 100 years, even though it lasted 400 or 500 years, and it was destroyed during World War I. They want to bring that back.
Yeah,
and then you have Iran, who wants to make an empire and control the whole Middle East and have Shiite domination and stuff.
Isn't only Iran Shiites? In the Middle East, everybody's Sunni.
You have Shiites scattered around, like you have Shiites in Iraq, and they're scattered around in Lebanon.
It's mainly all Sunni, though.
It is. I mean, 80% of the Arab world is Shiite.
I dare you.
80% of the world is Sunni, but the rest is Shiite.
I dare you, the people who are watching us now, tell me if you know the difference between Shiites and Sunni. I dare you. Because I know the difference, because I live in Israel, but I dare you if you know. Please answer me on Israel Unleashed on Instagram. If you want.
No, a lot of people don't understand the whole situation going on here, or the players, or who's involved. I mean, there's so many people, and there's so many wars going on throughout the Middle East. I mean, you have the whole world and the whole army, all their armies fighting in all these countries and stuff that you don't see on the news.
This prophecy only says one thing, and all of it doesn't matter. All of this fighting, all of this stuff, they don't matter.
It doesn't. It's pointless, honestly.
God has a plan, and God wants something to happen. And it doesn't matter what you want, what I want, what he wants, what anybody wants. If God wants something to happen, it will happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I don't see the point of getting upset over this. I don't see the point of getting scared over this. If anything,
it's accepting a reality that's going to happen.
I'm waiting. I'm going to fix myself a cold ice drink. This is water. I'll prefer that. And sit back and watch the war. Because it's going to be fun. For me, anyway. For the rest of you, probably not. But for me, it will be fun. But I can honestly tell you that what's happening right now in the world is exciting. And it's very eye-opening. And it's very... it basically puts...
It's a game changer.
Not only a game changer, it kind of brings the Bible to life for you.
But also,
if you only pay attention and
it brings the sense of civilization as we know it now and how we live to an end.
Oh, Mezrat Hashem. We can only hope for that.
You see it crumbling everywhere and stuff like that. And I don't
Today's
know.
society is not.
I mean, I seen a newspaper article, not a newspaper. I seen on the news they were talking about within the next. They're predicting within the next like 20 years, for example, that countries that we know today will cease to exist, and even money of certain sorts will cease to exist
yeah,
and stuff like
currency
that.
will not
you
be
know.
the same. Money will not be the
But
same.
I mean, like deficits of certain countries and stuff like that will destroy these places and stuff like that because they're spending money that they don't have.
Nobody has money. Money is a facade. It's a fake thing. It doesn't. It's not
I-
even real.
Another funny thing is they talk about how globalization, but
Nobody really knows what globalization is.
exactly, and that's another scary thing.
That is something we should all be watching for. What
Yeah.
is globalization? Please answer us, because I really want to know what globalization is and what exactly are they planning to do. Because this is something we know nothing about, and it's very
If you ask me,
eerie.
it's a change in the balance of power. The people who are in control of the world as a power that we know aren't going to be the people who are in power of the world to come.
Who do you think is going to take over? What is your
Well, it's not going to be America. It ain't going to be Russia and stuff like that. It's going to be people.
America has played its place in
It's
its
going
past.
to it's going to be people who are much stronger, and they're going to they're going to change the way we know of life. I mean, they're basically, and their goal is to make people slaves, make people, not people can't think for themselves anymore. Train people to think for how they want them to be. Control
Which is
it.
what all of
Control
you are
every
now.
control every aspect of their life and stuff like that, and they don't have any freedoms and.
None of us do.
We don't really have any freedoms today. It's like
No, we don't. It's a
it
facade
doesn't
as
matter
well.
where you go.
You're a slave to something. Money, work, life.
Yeah.
You're a slave for something.
And
You're a
the-
drone. All of us are.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, you have these leftists and dumbass people, as I like to call them, who are encouraging this, and they want to bring this on because
If we just be
fuck
nice
freedom
to
and
them,
your rights don't mean nothing. I mean,
it's like
they don't know better.
It's like this dumbass BDS supporters who say if you just be nice to them and give them what they want, they'll love you. You know what an Arab told me once? A Muslim, a Muslim who supports Hamas, actually told us one time that left-wing people will be the first to die. I'll explain to you why. A left-wing person is a person who betrays his own people. Like if you're a BDS supporter, you betray the Israeli people, because BDS is I don't even know what the fuck to call it. It's a garbage organization that believes in garbage opinions and really has no place in the world. But people seem to continue to believe them because they like to lie and people like to have pretty pictures shown to their face. And this Arab said to us that the reason the left wings will die first, because if they betray their own people, what stopped them to betraying them? So the first people you kill is them. So all these left-wing idiots who believe in peace and love and harmony will be the first to die.
And there's no such thing as peace, love, and harmony.
No, there isn't.
It's a dream. It's a dream we hold on to that'd be nice to happen one day. But
Peace does not exist. It doesn't exist. It's stupidity. You can't make people love each other if they hate each other.
Yeah.
We have peace with Jordan, and we have peace with Egypt, and we have peace with Turkey. I still will not go to Egypt. I still will not go to Jordan, and I will definitely not go to Turkey.
Because they're hostile towards you.
They're hostile towards
They
us.
still hold hatred towards you, and they
Why the fuck will I
openly
go?
talk
Just
about it.
because on paper we have peace? Paper peace doesn't mean shit.
They call it a cold peace, but what do you do? It
It
is
doesn't
what it
mean
is.
anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's a facade. It's bullshit. It's like a fata morgana in the middle of the fucking desert. You see water. There's no water. Illusion. Fata morgana. Go look it up.
I don't know. It's very interesting the way things are shaping up and how things are going and who's involved and stuff like that, and how the balance of power is changing and stuff like that to shape all this up and to make the future more interesting and stuff like that. And it makes you think about it. It's food for thought. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, it's like sitting back and eating some popcorn and letting it all happen and watching it, because it's not. I mean, how much of it's in your control? I don't think any of it's in your control.
None of it is your control. Like you said, God is driving. I'm just sitting back in the car seat and watching the view
I mean,
changes.
the funny thing is that the balance of power has changed between, like, we'll talk about the Middle East to Asia. The balance of power has changed immensely, and the way you got from Europe and America and stuff like that. I mean, I don't even know what you call that. That's just a crumbling situation, and they're them just fighting against one another and stuff like that. And I mean, they're willing to throw everything away to God knows to please whoever. You know, I mean, I don't even have any words for it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not America's not the place I left, and it's never going to be the place that it was when I was a child growing up. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but I don't even want to say it because what I see from on the sideline, I don't like it. I just want to point that out. I don't like it, and I feel sad for you because America is not a bad place. It's a very beautiful country, but
No, I know, but I mean, like they're
Sad.
the way they've run the power situation in the Middle East with the Russians for the last 100 years is in the Europeans. I mean,
America will no longer.
obviously, it shows
that.
that they can give a fuck less about anybody or anybody living here or what's going on here. They just want to make chaos as long as they're making money out of it. You know what I mean? And war is money. You know what I'm saying? To keep people fighting against one another and stuff like that, and using propaganda and stuff like that, it continues the situation that's been going on, and it's taking advantage of something. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're living in a world nowadays. You know, you don't even know what the truth is or what the reality is or what's fake, what's not fake. I mean, you know, we're living in a time where, like, you know, you don't even know what's real anymore, and that's what's scary. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't know what, you know, you have to sit from the side and actually make your own opinion, but there's so many people that can't make their own opinion. They need other people to make their opinion for them.
Because
stuff
people
like
have
that.
been force-fed information for years, and people became dumb because they're like, I don't need to go look up information. I can just be force-fed by opening the TV and opening my head and let it pour it in. They don't go and research things by themselves. They don't go and educate themselves. Oh, the TV said that, then it must be true. I believe whatever the TV said. Israel is the great devil.
True, but I mean, you know, honestly, I mean, the best
By
thing,
the way, we're not the great devil.
no. But the best thing you can honestly do, no matter what anyone says or what the news says and stuff like that, is the best thing for you, for yourself, is to investigate it and learn it and whatever like that and make your own opinion from it. You know what I'm saying?
Advice for life, people. Educate yourself. Don't be stupid.
Educating yourself, I mean, like,
Don't
you
be
know,
a dum-dum.
I mean, you know, we got like Ellie, for example, who was with us. He's on vacation now, but he's come from Russia and he was only able to learn so much, and he couldn't learn this and he couldn't learn that.
He's from the Ukraine.
Whatever, he was, you know, he was only able to, like, you know, communism had such a grip on people that, you know, they lived in fear and they couldn't do this and they
Soviet
couldn't
Union,
do that
yeah.
and whatever. And nowadays with the internet and stuff like that, I mean,
We have a voice now.
the information is like so overwhelmingly out there that, like, you know, it'd be amazing what you can learn. I mean, honestly, even online you have, you even have things that aren't, like, you know, that's not telling the truth. It's a person's, like, you know, staunch
Yeah.
opinion and whatever.
And people take that as the truth.
Yeah, I mean, like, nowadays you see more and more people trying to rewrite stuff, and
That's why this
You know.
prophecy that's happening right in front of our eyes right now is so exciting. This is why it's exciting. Because all this bullshit veil that you have over your eyes right now, and whatever force feed information they try to feed you so you wouldn't think for yourself, is about to be removed.
Yeah, your
Because,
eye-
like I said, the higher consciousness. Once
your
you,
eyes are going to be open, that's for sure.
either you'll be able to accept the higher consciousness, or you won't be able to accept the higher consciousness. There's not really in between about it. Either you'll be able to accept what's about to happen and the global changes that's going to happen to the entire human race. It's not just here in the Middle East or in places you never heard of, like Afghanistan or India, places you've never been at. It's going to be at your doorstep too, whether you want to believe it or not. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be a global thing. This prophecy is not just for us, the Israelis here in Israel, who have to suffer certain things because the rest of the world is fucking stupid. No, it's going to be a global thing. You motherfuckers are going to suffer just as much as we are.
Well, the funny thing is, when you go to places and you do wars and stuff like that, and that person hates you or those people hate you, they never forget that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, when you hear out of Iran, they don't always talk about Israel. They talk about, like, Europe and France and stuff, and America and stuff like that. And, you know, they also talk about attacking these places. I mean, you know, obviously they're gaining more and more knowledge and power towards, like, you know, their missile situations and drones, and yeah, they're doing some stuff locally, but they're also doing stuff, like, nationally that you don't see, because they're very good at what they do, apparently. You know what I'm saying? But there's a possibility that one day they'll be on the doorstep of France and America, and they'll pay the heavy price. It's like, yeah, what they did over here is definitely going to come and get them at their front door. When is that? That's the question. But
My only suggestion to all of you watching us now, if you want to be, I don't want to say that word, it's such a terrible fucking word, woke.
Yeah, I can't
Woke.
stand that word either.
Because the way the Americans are using it these days with the woke fucking whole,
Well, you get the whole woke thing from the Nazis, honestly.
yeah, I know, it's the funny part. Again,
I mean, the funny thing is, an example, when the Nazis were around and they, like, you know, convinced people from, like, America or Britain or something like that to join their ranks, and they were considered woke.
Yeah.
They were the awake ones, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it's funny how much stuff you get.
I bet you didn't know that. I bet you had no idea.
It's funny how you get things that people don't realize that happened 70-something, 80 years ago. They're using the exact same tactics today as they did then.
So congratulations, if you're a woke person and you're so proud of yourself being woke, congratulations, you're a Nazi.
Pretty much. When someone's convincing you to hate somebody, you're obviously going down the wrong path in the first
Yeah,
place.
because the fact that somebody teaching you that it's okay to hate someone, that's, problem
Not,
number
not,
one.
not only you're getting taught to hate somebody and then you hate somebody and stuff like that because of what you hear and what you do. It just shows how simple-minded you are and how
I'll tell you how.
not only simple-minded, how uneducated you are, how easily it is to change your view
Yeah.
about things.
How stupid you are because you're so easily manipulated.
Yeah.
I grew up to a world when I was taught that it was wrong to hate. I grew up into a world when I was told that hatred killed my people. That blind hatred is the root of all evil because that's what made my entire people die. And being a granddaughter of Holocaust survivors, being a third generation, and having to grow up with these stories about how my parents and grandparents and great-grandparents had to suffer all this atrocities, whatever you want to say. I'm sorry, my English is not that great.
Atrocities, yeah.
Atrocities, thank you. Then, I was taught that hatred is bad, and hate is something that's very powerful, and you shouldn't use it, and you shouldn't say it. Saying something like I hate something or I don't, it's just, it brings the root of all evil because hatred is a very deep-rooted thing. I don't think people understand that, but being an Israeli, which is a country who is very much hated around the world. You can see it every day in the news. People say how much they hate us and how much they want to destroy us. And it seems to be normal for the rest of the world to hear that. To us, it's not normal because we're hearing that since the beginning of time. But we learn to live with it because, well, we're Jews and we're supposed to live with it. But what's coming soon is, I'm not sure you'll be able to handle it because we have years of experience of learning how to deal with this kind of things. Most of the world doesn't. And what's going to happen, like I said, it's going to be a global thing. It's going to be a
the funny thing
worldwide
is,
spread.
the tactics they're using on the news and the propaganda and stuff like
The
that.
same tactics.
The same tactics, but I mean, since we're so used to it, and it's like kind of like a psychological war in a way, that it's like, it's easy to. It's affecting people that's never affected before, and they don't even know what kind of decision they should make from it. You know what I'm saying? So it makes that situation interesting. But yeah, us living here and stuff, and we're used to certain things and how things go on a daily level, and it helps us get used to, helps us accept the situation and how to live life to the fullest, and like literally today, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, it's like in a way accepting death, you know what I mean, and mentally and like physically, you know what I'm saying? Where a lot of people.
Death is not a bad thing, by the way.
No, but I mean, it's people aren't used to that and stuff, and they think they got peace where they are, and that blows their mind, and it's not something that they can grasp unless they're in that situation. You know what I mean?
Well, we've been living with death our entire existence. Jews are living with death our entire existence. We know how to handle it because we don't have a choice. The rest of the world, I feel sorry for. So I have nothing else to say. If you guys want to wake up, not with that word woke and all that stupidity, you want to wake up and educate yourself, I suggest you do it. Because being a drone that just have information pour into your brain doesn't educate you. Not only doesn't educate you, it actually makes you stupider than you used to be.
Yeah.
And not only it makes you more stupid, it makes you easier to control. You are very easily controlled. If you're a person with an opinion, if you're a person who actually think for a living, if you're a person who actually do his own research and educates himself, you are not that easily controlled. Therefore, you are not that easily manipulated. Therefore, everything they're trying to lie to you about, you're not going to believe it. You see the fakeness of it. That's why to us it's so obvious. That's why sometimes I look at other people around the world who say certain things and I'm like, the fuck, people?
The funny thing is, this is what they want. They want you to live in fear. They want you to know that you're going to die from corona and you should go out and get the shots and wear double masks.
Go do the shots or you'll
And you
die.
should sit at home wearing the mask and have sex with the mask and love your partner with the mask on. I mean, like, this is how we need to live.
Corona is just a sickness. The
No,
flu used to be an epidemic. Just to remind all of you, 100 years ago, people died in the streets from the flu. 100 years from then, we still have it. Corona is the same thing. It's an illness we have to learn to live with. They took it and made it into this worldwide epidemic that will kill all of us. If you want to believe that, go right ahead. Take the vaccine. I'm not against it. You want to take it? I'm happy for you. Don't bring your stupidity and your fear into my life and force me to be like you. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of getting corona because I have God next to me. If I need to die, I'll die. If I need to live, I'll live. I don't see the point of being afraid of this thing. I don't see the point of locking myself in a house and putting a mask over my face. The stupidity of it is mind-boggling. But you know, the rest of you want to be drones, then you might as well put a radar on your head and call yourself beep beep because you're all going to be point at it and
It just
controlled with little control systems.
It just shows how many sheep there really are and how many people are willing to be controlled, and it makes it easier for the people who want to control everybody.
Yeah, but then they want to call
even
us
more
conspiracy
simple.
freaks and we're the problem and we're the psychos and we're the one who don't understand. Okay,
Well, then either you're awake or you're not awake. It's like,
okay.
in life, either you educate yourself and you believe what you want to believe, and
I just say
you
one
make
thing.
your own opinion. If you don't make your own opinion, you don't believe what you want to believe.
I
then
just say one thing. I'm not afraid. I have no fears in my life. I'm not concerned. But they are. What does that tell you? I sit next to corona patients. If I'm supposed to get corona, I'll get it. If I don't, I won't. It's that simple in life.
pretty much.
And when I was a child, I was afraid of dying. I'm still afraid of dying. It's the only fear I have in life is afraid of death. But not because of death. It's very deep. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, so it's afraid of dying. My mom told me when I was a very young girl, I told her, I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of death. And my mom said, why? And I didn't have an answer to why. And she said, you can cover yourself with cotton balls and big blankets and put yourself inside a room that's completely protected and have all the sharp things out of the room and nothing will ever go inside, and then you'll die one day from a heart attack. Doesn't matter how much you protect yourself. Doesn't matter how many coatings of protections you put in front of you. Because if you need to die from a heart attack, the death comes from the inside out. So maybe you should stop being afraid.
Well, we're all going to die when we need to die.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do about that, man.
I mean, I'm sorry, but as
It's
a
like
Jew,
milk, man. You have an expiration date, you know what I mean?
I'm a Jew.
No matter what's going on.
I believe in the white and black book. I don't know if you know what that is. If you don't, go research it. But I believe in the white and black book. I have no fear in me. I know I don't know when I'm going to die, but I know I'm going to die. And however I'm going to die doesn't matter to me. I'm going to live my life. And having that insane fear that people have it's a numbing fear that they don't know how to deal with. So they're projecting their fear onto us and trying to tell that we're the problem because we are not vaccinated, or we're the problem because we're the Israelis and we're the big devil. And like I said, this prophecy that's about to happen, either you want to believe it or not. I mean, stuff are pretty much obvious on the ground. So if you don't want to believe in it, more power to you. If you want to believe in it, go educate yourself about it, because I do recommend it.
Well, the great thing about the prophecy that's supposed to happen, there's going to be no more sickness.
I know.
There's going to be no more wars. There's going to be actual peace for thousands of years. I mean,
Yeah.
bring it on, man.
Bring it on.
If that's what needs to happen and what needs to come.
I mean, the worst thing happens, you die, and then you go to God. So you're good anyway.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're afraid of.
Even the dead are supposed to rise during this.
Exactly. What the fuck are you afraid of? Death comes in a heartbeat. You're
Yeah.
dead. That's it. Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
And then what happens? And you go to God. So why are you afraid if you get to be with God? That's why I don't
Worst he can do is
understand.
send you back, right?
Worst thing he can do is send you back. I mean, we should know. We know, because some of us actually did came back and they remember it. So
Exactly.
trust us. That can happen too. For a fact. If you don't believe in that either, I feel sorry for you.
Needless to say, it's just that, the events that are taking shape and what's happening, and it's making everything happen at a quicker pace,
I'm
and
excited.
it's
It's
like
so exciting.
the weird thing is, it feels like it's even closer than ever. You know
I
what
know.
mean?
It's like the closer it gets, the more you feel it. I mean,
Yeah.
me and Keith are very energy receptive people. We
And
can
spiritual.
feel and spiritual. We can feel spirituality and energy. And every day that goes by, we can feel it inside of us. Every day that goes by, you can literally feel it. And you can feel it happening. I mean, we know things are about to happen before they happen. I was like, we're talking and be like, something's going to happen over there. I have a feeling. I know it's weird. And all of a sudden on the news, it happened.
No, but the interesting thing about when it comes to me, it's like I've become more accepting towards it. You know what I'm saying?
You
It's
should.
like, it's like I'm not even afraid of it. I'm
There's
more
nothing to
accepting.
be
and
afraid
like,
of.
you know,
Nothing to be afraid of. If something
I don't
is
even know
coming
why. I
from
don't
God,
even know why. I don't know how to put it in words. But I'm just
because
like,
it's
you know.
coming from. Listen, either you believe in God or you don't believe in God. That's your personal
This is
decision.
true. This
It's
is-
your personal decision. But God does believe in you, whether you want to believe it or not. He does. And if He thinks you should be here, then relax. And if He thinks you shouldn't be here, then relax. Because either way, there's nothing you can do about it. I think you should just learn to relax. Maybe you should smoke a joint.
Well, on that note, I'm down with smoking a joint. Why not? Life is good. Then. But on that note, I guess. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode,
And if not, that's okay too. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. It's okay.
and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And
If you have anything to tell us, please, Israel Unleashed on Instagram. Please, you are more than welcome to write to us. Even if you hate us, we accept you too. Even if you hate us.
even on YouTube, you can comment.
Watch it.
Whatever.
Watch it. Tell us. let
Comment,
us
say
know.
whatever you want. I'm more than happy to answer your questions and whatever.
And Ellie will be back soon, hopefully, because we know you love him too. And
Definitely. And hope we can
Definitely.
definitely give more love and more power, man, to defeat these evil forces that are around
we
us. and
will
going on.
definitely try to make more videos. And if stuff will happen here, trust me, we'll film it and show it to you.
Exactly.
You
Till
can
then,
rest
much
assured
love,
that, yeah.
much peace, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yalla bye.